You wake up, not in your warm bed, but on a straw pallet on a cold dirt floor. The year is 1350. Your goal for today is simple: survive until sunset. This is not a fantasy adventure. This is your 24-hour survival guide to the Middle Ages, a world where every moment presents a new opportunity for a painful, anonymous death. Forget everything you think you know. Your modern instincts will get you killed. Listen closely. Your life depends on it. Part 1. The morning. The dangers of waking up. The moment your eyes open, your first test begins. You are thirsty. You see a bucket of water. Do not drink it. That water, drawn from a communal well or a nearby river, is likely teeming with bacteria from human and animal waste. Typhoid and dysentery are rampant. A single sip could be a death sentence. Instead, you reach for the small beer or weak ale. The brewing process has killed most of the pathogens, making it safer than water. This will be your primary source of hydration all day. Next, the call of nature. There is no bathroom. There is a chamber pot under your straw bed. You use it, and then you open your window and empty its contents directly onto the street below, shouting a customary warning to any unfortunate passers-by. The smell of the city is overwhelming, a permanent miasma of waste, rot, and unwashed bodies. You are already breathing in disease. Time for breakfast. There is no variety. It is a thick slice of coarse, dark bread made from rye or barley, and perhaps a piece of cheese. It is heavy and hard to chew, but it is packed with calories, and you will need every single one of them. As you eat, you are acutely aware of the greatest hazard in your tiny timber-framed house fire. Your home is made of wood and thatch, huddled together with dozens of others just like it. A single stray spark from your hearth could ignite a blaze that consumes the entire neighborhood in minutes. There is no fire brigade. Your neighbors are the fire brigade, armed with nothing but buckets and prayers. The fear of fire is a constant, suffocating presence in every medieval city. Now you go to work. If you are a peasant, your day is one of back-breaking labor in the fields from sunrise to sunset. You wield a heavy scythe or a plow. A simple slip, a small cut from a rusty blade, is a major medical emergency. With no understanding of germs, no antiseptics, no antibiotics, that small cut can easily become infected. A swollen red arm today could mean a fever tomorrow and death by sepsis the day after. There is no concept of workplace safety. Your only protection is luck. Part 2. The afternoon. The dangers of society. Surviving the physical dangers of the morning is only half the battle. Now you must navigate the even more treacherous landscape of medieval society. Let's say you see a thief snatch a purse in the market. What do? There is no police force to call. It is your civic duty to raise the hue and cry, to start shouting and chasing the thief yourself. The entire community is expected to join the pursuit. If the thief is caught, justice is swift and brutal. There are no lengthy trials. For minor theft, the punishment might be public flogging or being locked in the stocks for a day of humiliation. For a larger crime, like stealing a loaf of bread when you're starving, the penalty is often hanging. Justice is not about rehabilitation. It is about terrifying deterrence. But the greatest social danger is not from criminals. It is from your superiors. The social hierarchy is absolute and enforced with casual violence. If you are a commoner, you must show constant deference. You do not make eye contact with a passing lord. You take off your hat. You step aside. A wrong word, a perceived insult, or simply being in the way could result in a beating from his guards, with no legal recourse whatsoever. You have no rights, only obligations. And what if you simply fall ill, a terrible toothache, for instance? You don't go to a dentist. you go to the barber surgeon. He will sit you in a chair, take out a pair of dirty iron pliers, and yank the tooth out of your head without any anesthetic. The scream of pain is part of the process. If you have a fever, he might perform bloodletting, cutting you open to drain the bad humors, often weakening you and making you more susceptible to the very disease he is trying to cure. The cures are often deadlier than the illness. You have survived the dangers of work, of the law, and of sickness. The sun is setting. You might think you are safe as you head for home. You would be wrong. The most dangerous time of all is about to begin. Part 3. The night. The reign of darkness. The moment the sun disappears, the medieval world transforms. If you live in a city, you hear the sound of the great gates creaking shut, locking you inside for the night. There is no leaving. There is no entering. And then comes the darkness. It is a darkness so profound and absolute that we can barely comprehend it today. There are no streetlights. The only light comes from the moon, the stars, and the occasional torch carried by the city watch. The darkness is a physical presence. It cloaks everything. It is the perfect ally for criminals. The unlit alleys and back streets become the domain of robbers, cutthroats, and murderers. The city watch is small and largely ineffective. Walking home alone at night is not just ill-advised. It is a potentially fatal gamble. Most people simply lock their doors, bar their windows, and do not venture out until sunrise. But the physical danger was not even the worst part. For the medieval mind, the night was supernaturally alive. The darkness was not empty. It was filled with demons, ghosts, ghouls, and evil spirits. Every strange sound from outside your window, the cry of a cat, the creak of a tree branch, could be a monster lurking in the shadows. The church taught that the night was the time when the forces of evil were strongest. People would huddle around their fireplaces telling ghost stories and whispering prayers for protection. They believed that witches held their Sabbaths, that goblins roamed the forests, and that the souls of the damned walked the earth. This psychological terror, this deep-seated belief in a world teeming with supernatural malevolence, was a real and powerful threat. The fear was as dangerous as any mugger. The sun rises. You have made it. You have survived a single ordinary day in the Middle Ages. You have navigated contaminated water, dangerous labor, crooked laws, terrifying medicine, and a night filled with both real and imagined monsters. To live in this world was to be engaged in a constant, exhausting, moment-to-moment struggle for survival. It required a different kind of strength, a resilience, and a tolerance for hardship. Simply earning the right to see the next sunrise.